heading back to my hometown for New Year. I released a bunch of electric eels into the pool at my villa. I also kept a black mamba in the study, along with several black widows. Then I quietly waited for my ex-girlfriend to show up. In my previous life, when I went home for New Year, she brought her whole family and barged into my villa to freeload food and drinks. They not only messed around on my bed, they even opened my prized liquor to soak in wellness baths. Even her two nephews destroyed an entire room of my limited edition figures when I tried to hold them accountable. My ex-girlfriend tried to morally blackmail me. She even live-streamed a stunt from the 18th floor, claiming I pushed her to death over a few toys. Netizens who knew nothing turned their hatred on me. They attacked my company, and Jenny's sister even ran me over with a car. Now that I've been reborn, I'll make this new year unforgettable for them. I moved all my figures overnight, then released a bunch of electric eels into the yard pool, and kept a black mamba and black widows in the study. I even put up warning signs on the door, but I knew Jenny's personality. She wouldn't resist breaking in. This villa is worth tens of millions, perfect for her to show off for a while. Jenny cheated before New Year. I broke up with her without hesitation. As New Year approached, she finally waited outside my house.
Jack, why did you change the password? I can't get in at all.
I said with disgust. Why are you here after we broke up? Have you no shame? Good thing I changed the password early. Otherwise she would have broken in already.
Jack, we at least had a thing for a while. How can you be so cold? That guy actually had a wife. I've already broken up with him. I promised my sister and my two nephews that they'd come over for New Year. I don't even have a place to stay. Since you're going back home, the house would just be empty. So for New Year, can I bring my whole family to stay here?
Jenny had been to my place before. She knew this villa was extremely luxurious, with full smart home systems, a fish pond in the yard, and storage rooms filled with food. Even if they never stepped outside, they could eat and drink here through New Year. Where you live is none of my concern. Your whole family starving on the street is not my problem. My home does not welcome you. After saying that, I shoved her aside and turned back into the house. The door slammed shut behind her. I looked through the peephole. Jenny dropped her fake sweet expression and glared viciously at my door, spitting on it twice.
I'm even asking to be nice. Once you go back home, I'll break the lock. I am definitely going to live in this place.
Seeing her arrogant face, I smiled. Not out of anger, but out of excitement. She did the same thing in my previous life. I rejected her back then too. I thought she would give up, so I ignored her. I packed and went back to my hometown. But after Jenny saw me leave, she immediately hired a thief to break the lock, then swaggered in with her family, and moved into my house. When people asked, she said she was my girlfriend, and that I agreed. While we were dating, the neighbors had seen her before, so no one doubted her. Jenny was foolish and greedy. After moving in, she emptied my storage room, and ate all the good food in the fridge. She secretly sold my luxury items from my walk-in closet. Her sister even took several valuable koi from my pond and stewed them. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst was her two nephews, who destroyed an entire wall of my figures. Many were limited or discontinued, worth millions, and years of my dedication. When I returned after New Year, I immediately called the police, demanding compensation. But Jenny and her divorced sister with two kids had no money to pay me. They threw tantrums and played dirty, claiming they had no money, only their lives, to morally blackmail me. Jenny forced me to drop the case. She even live-streamed, attempting a stunt using gravity and the ground, and accidentally died. This brought me severe online abuse, and got me hit by her sister with a car. In this life, I'll handle it properly. You want to spend New Year in my house? Then I'll give you a New Year you'll never forget. I called my best friend overnight, and moved all my koi to his villa pond. Those koi were priceless. I couldn't let Jenny's family ruin them. After the koi were gone, the pond looked empty, so I called a friend who runs an aquarium shop, and asked for some vicious creatures. Early next morning, he delivered a big box of electric eels, and 2 large snapping turtles. He warned me,
"The electric eel is lying in the pond. I'll cover it with some floating water plants for you. That way it won't scare anyone at home. This thing is seriously aggressive. Don't let its small size fool you. It can deliver up to 800 volts, enough to shock someone instantly. This snapping turtle is fierce. The large tank in your backyard is perfect for it. It can survive all winter without food or water, until spring."
I looked satisfied and asked him, "What reptiles would you recommend? I won't be home this New Year. I want to prevent burglars." My friend immediately understood.
"Do you want a black mamba too? I can just remove its fangs and venom glands. It's perfect for scaring people. And there's the black widow spider. It's highly venomous, but harmless if left alone. And it looks terrifying too. I have a friend who keeps reptiles. His place is overflowing with them. If you want, I can have them delivered this afternoon."
My eyes lit up. I nodded and said, "I'll take all of them." Next, I hired a professional moving company to pack all the figures in my study and send them to another property, so her nephews couldn't damage them. Then I packed up everything valuable, including my luxury items and several antique vases in the living room. Of course, an empty house looked bad, so I bought some plants. Toxic ones I put inside. All the toiletries were replaced with long-expired products. The good liquor in storage was replaced with all kinds of fake alcohol. I'm dumb and rich. Buying fake liquor is normal, right? Those premium frozen seafood was swapped for rotten fish and shrimp. They love seafood, don't they? Now they can eat all they want. Before leaving, I had people come to install over a dozen hidden cameras. I wanted to know everything happening inside and keep evidence for the police. After everything was ready, I slowly dragged my luggage and opened the door. Then on the front door, I deliberately placed the custom metal warning sign, "Dangerous pets inside. Do not enter or face the consequences." This way, if anything happens to them, it's not my responsibility. I warned them in advance. As soon as I got on the train, the first thing I did was pull up all the security cameras around my house. I watched for a long time but saw nothing happening. I thought to myself, could it be that being reborn changed the timeline, and Jenny and her family aren't coming? Would all my careful preparations be for nothing? But then I thought, if Jenny turns over a new leaf in this life and doesn't break into my house, maybe my revenge plan can end right here, and I can just start fresh. As long as she doesn't mess with me, I don't have to go after her. I even started thinking about how to get rid of the black mamba and the black widow spider, and that whole tank of electric eels. However, when I checked the cameras again after lunch, a smile crept across my face. Jenny didn't let me down after all. She showed up with a locksmith, following her instructions. After she paid him $200, the locksmith quickly broke open my front gate. Once Jenny got inside, she gave him another $500 to replace my smart lock with some cheap piece of junk. She also pried off the metal warning sign hanging on the gate and tossed it into the ditch nearby. Little did she know, the camera under the eaves caught every single move she made. After Jenny sent the locksmith away, she rushed straight to the storage room. When she saw the wine cabinet full of bottles and the fridge packed with food, she was thrilled.
Look at all this food. When my sister and her kids get here, they're gonna eat like kings.
She went back to the living room, turned on the floor heating, plopped down on the couch and started watching TV. 2 hours later, Jenny left the house, probably to pick up her sister and 2 nephews. By then I was almost at my stop. I closed the camera feed on my phone, grabbed my luggage and got off the train. Once I got home, I lay in bed and pulled up the cameras. On the screen, Jenny had already brought her sister Lisa and her 2 wild nephews back to my place. The moment Lisa walked in, she started gushing.
Wow, this place is fancy. Your ex-boyfriend must be rolling in it.
Jenny looked so proud of herself.
Well, he's loaded, you know. He might not want to forgive me now, but if I just stay here and refuse to leave, when he comes back, we'll grow close again over time and make up eventually.
Lisa didn't think there was anything wrong with breaking in, not one bit. She even started giving Jenny terrible ideas.
Here's what you do when he gets back. You get him into bed and get yourself pregnant. Once you're family, this gorgeous mansion will be all yours.
Jenny totally agreed.
Sis, you're so smart. No wonder you managed to squeeze $5 million out of your ex.
Seeing that no one else was around, Lisa leaned in and whispered a secret to Jenny.
My ex still thinks these twins are his kids, even after the divorce. He pays at least 20 grand a month in child support. Truth is, they're not even his. They're from some loser I used to date. He and his brother are twins, so twins run in his family.
While Lisa was absolutely ruthless, she had been cheating on her ex-husband for years. I immediately downloaded this clip and asked a friend to help me find out who Lisa's ex-husband was. I planned to send him this video. Consider it a good deed. While the 2 sisters were busy chatting away, her nephew Owen wandered into the backyard, curious about the alligator snapping turtle. He stuck his hand into the tank. My heart jumped into my throat, but lucky for him, the turtle was probably still getting used to its new home and didn't try to bite him. Seeing this massive creature in the tank, Owen got even bolder. He kept reaching in to touch the turtle, and finally that little daredevil let out a scream.
My hand, Mom, please save me.
The security camera was too far away. The footage was too blurry to see details, but I could barely make out Jenny and her sister rushing to the water tank in the backyard. Lisa saw the blood-red water and passed out on the spot. Jenny had more guts. She forced herself to reach for the snapping turtle. The turtle's sharp claws viciously tore at Jenny's hands. Her hands were quickly covered in bloody scratches. Owen was crying from the pain.
Auntie, I'm in so much pain. Help me.
Jenny didn't dare call the police, let alone an ambulance. She was terrified of exposing her break-in. To save Owen, she rushed to the kitchen for a knife, trying to chop off the turtle's head. Like I would let her get away with that. Right then, I called her to buy some time. Jenny saw my name on the caller ID and panicked. Ignoring Owen's cries, she quickly answered the phone. She was breathing hard, but tried to sound calm.
Jack, what made you call me?
I deliberately frowned and said, my neighbor said they saw you lurking around my house. You'd better not let me catch you doing anything, or you'll regret it. Jenny broke out in a cold sweat.
No way. Your neighbor probably just saw things. I gotta go. Talk later.
Jenny figured since the neighbor had spotted them, they needed to stay inside and not give me any reason to suspect them, or their New Year's plan would be ruined. After hanging up, she finally remembered Owen. The turtle had finally let go. Owen's hand was covered in wounds, bleeding heavily. Jenny looked at Owen's mangled hand, but didn't rush him to the hospital. She was too scared, afraid of getting caught, squatting in someone else's house. She just found a first aid kit in the basement, pulled out expired medicine and bandages, followed some tutorial on her phone, and bandaged Owen's screaming wounds. She had no idea the medicine had gone bad. It wouldn't disinfect infect or stop the bleeding. It would only cause infection and pus. By the time she remembered to find the turtle, that thing was long gone. The backyard had a rock garden, with a circulating fountain system, surrounded by ornamental plants. The turtle was already hiding somewhere. Jenny couldn't find it anywhere. Thinking about Owen, destroying so many of my collectibles in his past life, and peeing all over my house, I felt the turtle bite was karma. Of course, this was just the beginning. I had plenty more surprises waiting for them.
You can tell this is some fancy wine. Sis, have some more. Owen, grab some more of this shrimp. This stuff must have cost a fortune.
Jenny went all out making lunch, hauling tons of food from the pantry. Argentine jumbo shrimp, knockoff French wine, all kinds of frozen seafood and steaks.
Make more of the food I like.
Owen and Jason are still growing. They really need to eat good nutritious food right now.
Lisa had no shame. Not only did she think it wasn't too much, she kept telling Jenny to make more, because everything looked expensive.
Guess I'll whip up some more then.
Jenny said sure, and got busy. She used my olive oil, like it was free, pouring it generously into the pan.
This oil doesn't smell very fresh.
Lisa caught a whiff of that strange smell, and nearly threw up.
Olive oil always has this weird smell to it. This must be the fancy stuff. Just has a stronger flavor, that's all.
Jenny didn't seem to care. When the food was served, Lisa tried a few dishes, and the more she ate, the more something felt off.
This seafood smells a little off too. The steak has turned dark. Has all this stuff gone bad?
Let me try it.
Jenny had prepared a whole table full of food. She was starving at this point, so she dug right in. But her taste buds weren't very sensitive. Everything tasted fine to her, so she called them over to eat.
It's fine. Tastes okay to me. Nothing's gone bad.
But Lisa refused to take another bite. She just kept her head down, gulping that knockoff liquor. Since she wouldn't eat, Jenny figured she was just being dramatic again, and ignored her. She just focused on stuffing herself. Owen and Jason were still kids. They saw Jenny eating happily, so they joined in. Pretty soon the whole table was completely cleaned out. About half an hour later, the two kids started complaining about stomach aches, and kept running to the bathroom. Lisa had been drinking all that fake booze on an empty stomach. She kept saying she was dizzy and nauseous, and her face was flushed bright red. Jenny wasn't doing any better herself. One minute she was dizzy, the next her stomach hurt. She kept running to the bathroom. Finally Lisa couldn't take it anymore. She took the two kids to the hospital in the middle of the night. Jenny's symptoms were milder, but she still had diarrhea all night. By the next day she was completely drained. She fell down several times just trying to get to the bathroom. I was cracking up watching it all on the security cameras. It wasn't until the next evening that Lisa finally brought the two clearly wiped out boys back to my house. The two sisters immediately went through all the food in my storage room. They had no idea until they checked and found out the liquor was all fake, and the food was all expired. Jenny sat on the couch cursing me out weakly.
That Jack. I thought he was loaded. Turns out his wine cabinet is full of knockoffs. No wonder we had such bad hangovers last night.
Lisa chimed in.
All the ingredients were way past their expiration date. No wonder my two boys have had the runs. That Jack is absolutely ridiculous. If we weren't trying to keep a low profile, I'd confront him right now, and make him pay for our medical bills.
Want to get even? Easy. He has a thing for buying designer stuff. Tomorrow we sneak out all his luxury goods and sell them.
Lisa immediately agreed, but whatever they could think of, I had already anticipated. I was well prepared, just waiting for them to enter my room. The moment Jenny pushed open my door, she was immediately hit by such a disgusting smell that she stumbled backwards.
What is that smell?
Of course it was the stinky socks I had deliberately left unwashed and saved up. The smell was like a nuclear weapon.
It stinks so bad.
Lisa couldn't stand it, and backed way off holding her nose. When Jenny went into my room to grab those luxury items, even though she had her nose covered and was ready, she still kept gagging nonstop from the stench. I went back to my hometown for New Year's. I put a bunch of electric eels in the villa pool. I also kept a black mamba in the study, along with a bunch of black widows. Then I quietly waited for my ex to come knocking. At this moment Jenny was rummaging through my closet. She couldn't find any designer goods, but suddenly felt something furry and moving on her hand. Jenny was instantly startled. Owen with his sharp eyes spotted it right away. A black widow crawling all over her hand.
Auntie, there's a spider.
When Jenny heard it was a spider, she immediately shook her hand hard trying to fling it off. It seemed like the black widow got scared and bit down hard on Jenny's hand. It quickly crawled around her body, then scurried away on the floor. Jenny was still standing there, shaking and screaming nonstop. She kept yelling,
There's a spider, there's a spider. Stay back.
Lisa didn't dare go near her. She could only peek in from a distance, while holding back Jason, who wanted to watch the show. Owen was so freaked out by Jenny's state that he started screaming too.
I'm scared of spiders too. Stay away.
The two of them screamed for quite a while before stopping. Owen said breathlessly,
Auntie, I think the spider ran away.
Jenny's legs that felt like lead finally started working again. She bolted out of my room like she was fleeing for her life. From the security footage I could see, there was a big wet patch between her legs. She obviously peed herself from fear. After Jenny left my room, she cautiously gave me a call.
I heard from a friend you started keeping pets recently. What kind are they? Are they venomous or not?
She wanted to know how many. She wanted to know if they were venomous, but I refused to tell her. I just coldly snapped at her. None of your damn business. Don't call me if there's nothing important. Then I hung up. Jenny was so mad she was grinding her teeth. Suddenly she felt dizzy, and her whole body was burning up. She ended up spending $2,000 at the hospital for antivenom. Before she finally calmed down, however, since she didn't know how many spiders I had in total, she now checks everywhere she goes first. She's become paranoid, suspicious of everything all day long. No matter how much her sister tried to convince her, she refused to go back into my room to look for valuables. That spider might still be in there waiting to bite her again. She told Lisa to go in, but Lisa refused to.
I'm not going.
Jenny laughed in disbelief.
You won't go, so why should I? Is my life worth nothing?
Only then did Lisa awkwardly drop the subject. During the day they were afraid of being seen by neighbors, so they didn't dare leave the villa.
Since the stuff in the storage room isn't edible, weren't there still fish in the front yard pool?
When she walked by yesterday, she saw lots of fish under the floating algae, and they were pretty big. Lisa suggested catching the fish. Jenny happily agreed.
Today is New Year's Day. We'll have fish for lunch, and sneak out for a fancy dinner tonight.
But soon, they started arguing about who would get in the pool to catch the fish. Jenny had been scratched by the snapping turtle before, and bitten by the spider. Her hands were covered in wounds. She didn't want to get in the water, but the pool was kind of wide. Plus, they had no proper fishing equipment. They couldn't catch any fish without getting in. Lisa was worried the smelly pool water would ruin her new dress, so she kept refusing to get in. Owen was busy pulling up my plants nearby. Right when he was really getting into it, he heard about catching fish and jumped right up.
I want to catch some fish. Here I go.
Without caring about the scab on the back of his hand, he jumped into the pool. Electric eels don't attack easily, unless an animal is wounded and bleeding. Electric eels are extremely sensitive to the smell of blood. When the eels caught the scent of blood on Owen, they all swarmed toward him at once, constantly discharging electricity from their bodies. Watching the sparks flashing in the water, Owen screamed for help in terror.
Help me, it hurts so bad. This fish is electric.
Son.
Now Lisa didn't care about her dress anymore. She quickly reached out to grab Owen from the pool, trying desperately to pull him out. But Owen was really heavy. She couldn't pull him up with just one hand.
Jenny, get down here. Help me pull Owen out.
Lisa looked at Jenny pleading for help.
I can't do it. I'm scared.
Jenny was so scared she fell to the ground. In the end, Lisa used every ounce of strength she had to drag Owen out of the pool. By then Owen's body was already convulsing from the shocks, with faint smoke rising from all over him.
My poor baby. I'm taking you to the hospital right now.
Seeing her son like this, Lisa was heartbroken. She immediately tried to call an ambulance.
No way. We can't let the ambulance come here, or they'll find out we broke in. You want to kiss your influencer career goodbye?
Jenny quickly stopped her. She was afraid they'd go to jail for this, but with Owen's current condition, if he didn't get medical help soon, he might be done for. After saying that, Lisa came up with a compromise. She carried the pale-faced Owen and rushed out, planning to get somewhere far from the villa area, before calling a cab to the hospital. That way no one would know they broke into the house. But Lisa hadn't gotten far with Owen when she suddenly got a call from Jenny. Jenny was crying and said,
Sis, this is bad. Jason broke into Jack's study and got wrapped up by a huge black python. It's squeezing him so tight he can't breathe. I'm so scared. I can't go near it.
After hearing this, Lisa went limp and passed out. Jenny completely lost it and finally decided to call the police and an ambulance. At this point, she had lost all the arrogance from when she first broke in. When the police called to say my house had been broken into, I was having a barbecue in the yard. The police said when they got there, Owen's hand had to be amputated due to severe infection. He was already in surgery. Jason had been rescued from the python by the police. He was badly shaken, mumbling incoherently. Then he got a high fever. Lisa just fainted. She got off easy, but Jenny wasn't so lucky. The constant terror drove her completely insane. Now she's talking nonsense. What she keeps yelling about the most is spiders and giant pythons. She's clearly lost her mind. After Lisa woke up, she suspected I knew they were going to break in and set this all up to hurt them on purpose. She demanded I pay for all their losses. The police asked me to help with the investigation. I just remotely sent them all my surveillance footage from the past few days. It was crystal clear who was at fault. After watching the footage, the police no longer required me to be there in person. Obviously in this whole thing, I had zero responsibility. I just kept a few non-venomous, but somewhat dangerous exotic pets at my own house. If they hadn't ignored the warning signs I posted on my door and forced their way in, none of this would have happened. This time I won't pay a dime, and they're gonna compensate me for property damage. I hired a lawyer to handle negotiations with Lisa. The next day my lawyer told me Lisa kept threatening to sue me until I was completely broke. But my lawyer also said,
in this case, they were in the wrong first. And as the homeowner, you already did your due diligence warning them. The judge will most likely rule in your favor, or at most ask you to pay a small amount for their damages on humanitarian grounds.
After hearing that, I felt totally relieved. This time I had solid evidence. Bring it on. I'm ready for anything. I had my lawyer tell Lisa, go ahead and try me. Then I blurred the faces in the security footage and posted it online before Lisa could, cutting off her chance to play the victim. Even though all the faces were blurred, Lisa was a minor influencer, and people recognized her by her signature figure. Lisa was in the video. Tons of people flooded her account to trash her. Didn't she claim her family was loaded, and she was some trust fund baby? Yet she broke into someone's house. Is anything about her even real? These two sisters are total gold diggers. So disgusting. They totally deserved what they got, and they still want to sue the homeowner. How do they have the nerve? They trashed the whole place. Good thing the owner had those those wild animals. Otherwise that beautiful house would have been completely wrecked. Lisa became public enemy number 1. But that wasn't enough. I posted the video of Lisa cheating on her ex-husband, while the story was still trending. This time I didn't need to track anyone down. Her ex drove through the night, straight to Owen and Jason's hospital room. Even though Lisa swore up and down that both boys were his, her ex wasn't buying it this time. He personally pulled a few hairs from each kid's head and sent them for a paternity test. When the results came back, her ex stormed into the hospital room furious. Lisa ditched her 2 hospitalized kids and quietly slipped away. The results were obvious. Neither kid was his. After Lisa ran off, Jenny was still locked up in the psych ward, with no one paying for her treatment. Her care was put on hold. She might be stuck there for a very long time. As for Owen and Jason, since nobody wanted to take them in, they ended up in foster care. Because their mom was so infamous, no family wanted to adopt them. They'll stay in foster care until they turn 18. Their living conditions got way worse. They were constantly fighting other kids over stuff. Their bruises never fully healed. As for Lisa, 2 months after she vanished, her ex finally tracked her down, beat her so bad she lost several teeth. After that there was no news about her. My lawsuit against her, she never showed up. I won by default. The judge ruled I wasn't liable. I had no responsibility for Jenny and the others getting hurt on my property. When I got the verdict, I smiled. In this life, I won completely with my foresight. Finally got the revenge I deserved for the injustice I suffered in my past life.